That email draft you never sent. The workout you skipped last Tuesday. The conversation you started and never finished. Your brain has every single one of these on a list, and it will not stop reminding you until they're done. There's a name for this invisible mental weight that pulls your focus in 5 different directions at once. It's called the Zeigarnik Effect. And once you understand why your brain does this, you can stop being held hostage by it and actually use it to get more done. Here's what it feels like from the inside. You sit down to work, one task, full focus. But your brain has other plans. Suddenly it throws the text you never replied to straight at your face. Then that appointment you never rescheduled. That idea you scribbled on a sticky note 3 weeks ago and still haven't done anything with. It's like trying to read a book in a room where 5 different people are all talking at once. And here's what makes it worse. The more you try to push these thoughts aside, the louder they get. You tell yourself you'll deal with them later. They come back. You make a mental note. They interrupt your next thought. By the time you get to bed, your mind is still buzzing, running through a highlight reel of everything you didn't finish. This isn't a bad attention span. It isn't stress, not exactly. It's something much more specific happening inside your brain. So what is actually going on? Why does your mind keep dragging you back to unfinished things? Even things that don't matter that much, like it can't let them go. Here's the psychology. Your brain is essentially a tension machine. The moment you start something, anything, your brain creates what psychologists call task-specific tension. Think of it like a rubber band. The second you begin a task, that band gets pulled taut. Your brain is now holding it, waiting for the release. Finishing the task? That's the release. The rubber band snaps back. The tension dissolves. Your brain files it under done and moves on. But when you don't finish, that rubber band stays stretched. Indefinitely. Your brain keeps the task hovering just under the surface of your awareness, because evolutionarily, an unresolved goal is still a live threat. Something might go wrong. Something important might be missed. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an unfinished email and an unfinished escape route. It treats both with the same urgency. This is why unfinished tasks show up at the worst possible moments. In the shower, mid-conversation, right as you're falling asleep. Your brain isn't punishing you. It's being loyal. It's keeping those loops open because you told it to care about them when you started. Now here's what makes this even more fascinating. That same tension, the open loop, is exactly what makes a great story gripping. It's why you tell yourself, just one more episode, at midnight when you know you have work tomorrow. The loop is open. Your brain will not rest until it closes. Storytellers have been exploiting this exact mechanism for centuries. Your brain is built for completion, and it will pull you toward it, with or without your permission. This effect has a name because of one very observant afternoon in a Vienna café in the 1920s. A young Soviet psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik was sitting there when she noticed something unusual about the waiters. They could recall, in extraordinary detail, every order from every table they were currently serving. But the moment a table paid and left, those orders vanished from memory, almost instantly. She was a student of the psychologist Kurt Lewin, who had a framework for understanding how psychological tension shapes human behavior. That cafe observation lit something up for her. She brought the idea into the lab. In her studies, participants were given a series of tasks, puzzles, math problems, small hands-on projects. Half the participants were interrupted before they could finish. Then everyone was asked to recall what they'd been working on. The results were striking. People remembered the interrupted, unfinished tasks roughly twice as well as the tasks they'd completed. The conclusion was clean and counterintuitive. Incomplete tasks create a specific mental tension that keeps them far more accessible in memory than finished ones. Zeigarnik published her findings in 1927. The paper became foundational in the psychology of memory, motivation, and what researchers today call cognitive load. The total weight of what your mind is actively carrying at any given moment. The decades of research since have confirmed it. Unfinished business doesn't just sit there. It stays live. It occupies active mental real estate, whether you invite it to or not. So now that you know exactly what's happening, what do you actually do with it? Step 1. Close your loops deliberately. The most powerful thing you can do isn't to finish every task. That's impossible. It's to formally capture it somewhere you trust. Your brain keeps tasks in working memory because it doesn't believe you'll remember them later. The moment you write one down, in a to-do app, a notebook, anything you actually check, your brain gets a signal, we don't need to hold this anymore. It's stored. This is why a solid capture system doesn't just make you more organized. It literally quiets the mental noise. Step 2. Use the loop on purpose. Here's the flip side, you can weaponize this effect. Before you end a work session, stop mid-task deliberately. Leave a sentence half-written. Leave a problem partially solved. When you return tomorrow, your brain will already be running warm. The open loop will have been working in the background overnight, and the return to work moment becomes dramatically easier because your brain never fully let go. Step 3. Do a weekly brain dump. Once a week, Sunday evening is a great time. Sit down and write out every open loop you're carrying. Big ones, small ones, the vague half-formed ones. Get them out of your head and onto the page. Then make a decision for each one. Which actually needs action, and which ones can you officially close right now by deciding you're not doing them? Because closing a loop doesn't always mean finishing the task. Sometimes it means consciously choosing to let it go. Your brain isn't scattered. It isn't broken. It's loyal to every loop you left open. Now you know why it does that. And now you know how to work with it instead of fighting it. If any of this hit home, subscribe to Mind Sketchbook. We put out new videos every week on the psychology your brain actually runs on, simplified so you can actually use it. This has been Mind Sketchbook, simplifying psychology, one sketch at a time.